Hey guys, how's it going? Well, today we're getting the first bit of the new expansion release teaser kind of thing, starting off with Varus. If you guys didn't see the trailer for the release expansion that they set out yesterday, I recommend just checking that out. There's nothing like spoiler there, but it's really cool and gives you the backdrop of the setting. But yeah, just continuation of the Darkens, as you know, Varus the bowman guy kind of thingy. Let's jump into it. Let's see what's all about. Hope this isn't too loud.
The arrow of retribution will find its mark.
Oh yeah. Varus, 4 mana, 3/4, so another Runeterra champion. Origin, Arrow of Retribution, auto-equip the Darkened Bow. So very similar to like Kayn, right? Just very similar in how it works. His origin is exactly like Kayn, but instead of cultist cards, it's specifically cultist spells. And you do get a draw of Varus. His bow, on the other hand, equipment when you play a spell or equip an ally, give me +1/+0, max +5 until the next time my bear strikes. And then it resets. That's would be my guess. Level up, you've targeted 8+ allies. Okay. Definitely looks like some like spell buff equip ally kind of thing. Interesting.
What I could learn from studying such a weapon.
You will know our power. Be patient.
Wait, that just added 0 mana twin?
What I could
Hello? Once you've equipped an ally this game, create a new spell that costs 2 in hand, set its cost is 0. 4 mana, 3/5. P and Z generates a free 2-cost card. Seemed pretty okay.
From studying such a weapon.
Good stat line, free value.
Be patient.
The game's like +3 here.
Bloodshed is the only way, isn't it?
And Varus resets.
Let me end our war.
Our revenge.
Your power.
When I'm equipped, when I'm summoned or 1 CV. When I'm summoned or once you've equipped an ally this game. What? When I am summoned or once you've equipped an ally this game, create a gem hand. I don't understand how that works. What does this or mean?
Your power. Let me end our war.
Our revenge comes first, then your petty war.
Oh, it created 2 gems. Whoa, that's interesting.
True power eclipses both day and night.
Beware those who have nothing to lose.
That was I. Oh, wait.
We deliver.
Activates twice and has max +10/+0. Okay, so it's basically his level 1, but doubled. Or like reminds me of Vi in a sense. He gains overwhelm on level up.
We deliver their end.
I am free. I am ascended.
It is complicated enough without your domineering.
Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, okay.
Don't stand against us. Their minds are so fragile.
Burst, grant vulnerable, give +1 as his champ spell.
Your will crumbles so easily. One step closer to retribution.
I'm not sure what's doubling. Oh, the spells themselves double. Okay, that makes sense. So it's a continuation of cards like the Momentous, where once you've equipped, just copy me again. Which, well, I mean, that just means more Nami support, am I right, guys? But let's see. So Chain of Corruption, which is his alt action league, right? So 3 mana burst, give vulnerable, give ally +1/+0, create a fleeting Chain of Corruption in hand. Oh, interesting. So it's sort of like Ruthless Predator, where it gives enemy vulnerable and then like gives an ally +1/+0, but then you get to recast it as many times as you can, which is really interesting. It's one extra mana for the effect of being able to cast more than once in a turn, which could be okay in certain situations. But you know, just as a Ruthless Predator as a champ spell with the champion with quick attack, like that's pretty decent already, right? It's like Renekton, but Varus already has quick attack, so it has extra survivability, right? Which is pretty decent. And of course, if you target Varus himself, I guess you don't even you need to target Varus. His Darkened Bow just gives him +1/+0. So very much so like Renekton, except just Renekton with quick attack and a tutor, I guess. Unforgiving Cold, Freljord card, Cultist card, Burst Speed, Frostbite the strongest enemy. If you have equipped an ally, copy me. 4 mana, Harsh Winds. Yeah, that's pretty okay. That's really okay. Icefield Cultist, 5 mana, 5/5 equipped allies have Overwhelm. Okay. Varus already has Overwhelm, but to give Overwhelm onto like a unit with like the scout weapon, like that seems pretty dope. Hold this card and Freljord. Like this card, these cards like probably good enough to not need to be restricted within like cultist card decks, right? You just play this card in Freljord. And you have Unforgiving Cold. Like you can play some Ash, Unforgiving Cold, Icefield Cultist kind of deck. That seems really sweet too. Like Unforgiving Cold, 4 mana, like Harsh Winds. Like hello? That seems really sweet. That's really sweet actually. And this goes through Spell Shield? Does Unforgiving Cold go through Spell Shield? It probably doesn't. But it also means that hypothetically, if your opponent is attacked with a Spell Shield Lee Sin, it pops the Spell Shield and then Frostbites Lee Sin. So it's one card to deal with the Spell Shield and freeze the unit behind the Spell Shield. I mean, this card just seems nuts on its own. Like I think equipping an ally is like not not that tough of a of a condition. And this card looks really cracked, man. This card's insane. Is this finally the card that Ash needs to just really break out? I don't know. But it seems really good, even in like a Varus deck or whatever it may be, even like Kane or whatever. Allowing Kane to like get that second strike in for free on a block because you can frostbite. Like Kane loves this. Varus, you know, it's still good, I guess. You know, gives you the extra kind of spell that you can play. But I think also very importantly, for both Kane and Varus, and this idea of Runeterra champs just lacked having the ability to put many good spells into your deck. And a card like Unforgiving Cold just allows you to have that extra bit of spell, because a lot of the issues was just a lack of protection or interactivity. And like having the ability to do that just makes cards like Varus and Kane just so much better. Icefield Cultist seems pretty decent. Maybe it's like less good than I might think it is, but this whole like giving things overwhelm is really good. Next card, Lunari Cultist. When I'm summoned or once you've created equipped an ally in this game, create a gem in hand. So this card essentially can create 2 gems. So 2 mana 1/3 that creates 2 gems. It's sort of like Mountain Goat almost. You lose out on like the good offensive stat line on the offset that you can potentially create a second gem. And of course, 2 gems works great with Varus because it works with his level up. It buffs his bow. Seems okay. This is better than Mountain Goat. Well, you can run this as a cultist card, so this probably wouldn't be played over Mountain Goat in a Targon deck, but it's probably pretty decent in like in a cultist deck. Like just decent cultist cards in order to draw your like Varus and stuff. Unfortunately, Varus is only restricted to cultist spells, which is actually gonna be a lot harder. Like these are good buffs to like Kane, but it's a little bit trickier for Varus. Now, when you cast Unforgiving Cold activated, I assume that counts for 2 spells towards Arrow of Retribution anyways. So you essentially only need to cast 2 spells given you've activated the conditions. That's maybe like not that bad. Ambitious Cultist, 4 mana, 3/5. Once you've equipped an ally this game, create a new spell that costs 2 in hand and set its cost as 0. So very much so like the what's it called, Spiring Songspinner card, the ability to just generate 0 mana to cost new cards from any sort of like region can be very powerful. There's just a lot of good cards and you can play for free. You don't get to choose, so it is completely random, which could be good or bad. 4 mana, 3/5, like that's good stat line. You got a free spell. I'd find it hard for this card to be bad, but this card might just not be good enough to be played though. But it's okay. And then the Violent Discord, 2 mana fast, deal 1. If you equipped an ally, deal 2. Or copy me the same targets. The 2 mana Mystic Shot, right? Is essentially what it is, but it's double cast and synergized with Varus. Like this card is like good as well, right? Yeah, I mean they're giving removal cards, they're giving Mystic Shot, they're giving like Harsh Winds, like they're giving interaction outside of combat, which historically for Runeterra champions has been something that they've traditionally lacked, and these are going to be solid for Varus and Kayn, both of them, just because they both work in a very similar way. There's no new equip cards, so you still have to be playing. I guess you could be playing like the no, you can't. You'd have to like you'd have to splash into a region that has improvise or like good weapons. So you're still sort of locked to like uh like Targon or like Shrima just for like the weapons, or even Jax plus maybe there's enough spells now for Jax like Varus or Jax like Kayn to make sense. But the issue right now is you still need to reliably be able to equip, because if Varus is your first equip, is that good enough? Is that fast enough? Maybe it could be fast enough, but I think ideally you'd want like additional weapons. Because of course, Varus as a win con is a little bit, maybe a little bit. I mean, it's good. It's like Vi, right? I put on the same level as Vi as like a win con, which is to say it's not exactly the greatest win cons, but it can win you games. But you definitely need some extra support behind it to really get there, right? And if you need to do that, I think you do need a little bit of extra consistency in order to activate cards like Violent Discord or Unforgiving Cold to really tutor your Varus, right? So you're still maybe locked into like Shrima or Targon just for weapons, but it's very interesting because I think this is definitely a lot more interesting, and it's really cool that they're tying these guys together, Kayn and Varus, in this sort of pseudo kind of package of cultist cards, but also just releasing extra cards that also work with Kayn. So I think this is like really, really cool how they're designing this, and I really appreciate that a lot. Is there anything else? Oh, I got one more card here. Unending Wave. Cultist card. Bilgewater. 4 mana burst. Once you've equipped an ally this game, I cost 2 less. Draw 2 and give them fleeting. Whew. 2 mana, draw 2. I mean, sheesh. That's value. And the issue, of course, is fleeting. But like 2 mana, draw 2, that can only be so bad. I mean, that's kind of crazy. It's hard for this card to ever be bad. What is Piercing Bolt? What is this? What is this thing? Skill. I don't understand. What does this? Am I missing something? Piercing Bolt. No, I don't understand. I mean, I assume it's Varus. but I don't see anything about Varus that says piercing bolt on it. Very confused, but either way, I digress. Expanses protection, 4 mana cultist spell. Once you've equipped an ally, costs 2, give me spell shield. I mean, come on, man. 2 mana spell shield, 2 mana bastion. Jesus Christ, dude. That's like, you play Varus and then this is automatically activated, right? And then you just slam a spell shield on it so your opponent can't like vengeance you. Like, come on. That's like, Jesus, man. That's good. Sudden Surge. 4 mana cultist. Once you've equipped, costs 2 less. Grow an ally to 5/5 this round. 2 mana grow to 5/5. Oh my god. Like, that's like what, Purple Berry Shake on steroids? Jesus, these cards are like solid. Like, very solid. Blooming Cultist, 3 mana cultist. Vandal City. Once you've equipped an ally this game, grant me elusive. 3 mana, 3/2, attune elusive. Seems okay. Oh, it's Brute Cultist. So Brute Cultist is what gets the piercing bolt, right? 1 mana, 2/2. When equipped allies attack, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. When equipped allies attack, deal. I assume this only procs once. If this like procs for every equipped ally, that could be really scary. Does it say anywhere? Has anyone clarified? I don't know. But because like that's piercing bolt, right? The wording's a little bit confusing. I'll be honest. But like, I think that these are definitely an interesting wave of cards, because also I assume the trend is, as we get the next Darken, they're also just building on this pool of cultist cards, right? And as the cultist pool grows, champions like Kayn, Varus, and Aatrox, or whatever the other Darken is going to be, is just going to continually get stronger. And they're adding spells, right? That's the big part. They're adding spells I can put into their decks, which like takes away some of the weakness that Runeterra champions historically had. So very much so like the design of how they're taking these cultist cards. Very much so how they're also fleshing out Runeterra champions, even though they have their own pseudo origin that is unique to them. Like, these Darkens share a similar Runeterra pool, which I think is really, really cool in how they're designing things. But yeah, like, a lot of the spells seem really, really good. Like, this equip is not much of a condition. You have 2 mana spell shield, 2 mana like 5/5, 2 mana mystic shot, 2 mana harsh winds, and 2 mana draw 2. Like, these are all just nuts, right? Regardless of like their synergy, just on face value, they're absolutely strong cards. So Varus definitely looks to be decent. Is it better than Kayn? I don't know. Is it good? Maybe. Like, it has overwhelm and quick attack. I guess Kayn has overwhelm and quick attack, but this like grows a lot faster than Kayn. It can be more aggressive. It could synergize with like barrier as well, I guess. Like, barrier on this, just have like a 10/5 on a block. I guess it'd be a 14/5 on a block. Jesus. Like, Varus is going to trade up into everything. You have Chain of Corruption, a challenge. Like, this just means really solid as like a very, very good mid-range card, especially when you have harsh winds, when you have draw 2. This seems very, very powerful just on face value. A lot of these cards just are solid cards as a staple, and it's hard to see like, and when you can run all these like good cards, it's hard to see Varus like being bad. So very excited as expansion goes on. Now I'm just rambling, but I digress. This set so far looks pretty cool. Varus looking great. Let me guys know what you guys think. And we'll catch you in the next reveal video, I guess. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys are excited for the new expansion. And I'll see you guys later.